Former Kibale District Secretary for Security and Community-Based Services on spot for injuring resident. Court in Kibale remands 18-year-old man over attempted murder. Kegego Assistant RDC suspends commissioning of Abagahe Maize Factory project, and Kenya's William Ruto dissolves cabinet. This and more stories up next in the detail. A very good evening. It is exactly 8 p.m. My name is Deo Asiimwe. I welcome you to this broadcast of KDR News. Now the detail. Authorities of Kisindizi village in Karama sub-county Kibale district are investigating the circumstances under which the former Kibale District Secretary for Security and Community-Based Services, Kizito Sebuliba, hacked and injured a resident in the same area following a land misunderstanding. Kizito Sebuliba is a resident of Kisindizi village in Karama sub-county. It is alleged that last evening Sebuliba injured Augusto Kibuka using a sharp machete and occasioned injury on his cheek. Sources say that Sebuliba got a misunderstanding with his biological elder brother Judas Mukisa of the same area, who accused the latter of obtaining 200,000 shillings from Mukisa's son Tadeo Muhire to hire him 1 acre of land. But Judas Mukisa, the father to Muhire, insists that Sebuliba obtained the money last month, and since then he has been chasing away Rosemary Nsungwa, the mother to Muhire, who had gone to carry out a cultivation in the could-be hired land.
Jari borukombo ebedozi otaplanning iri hata ina kahaya ka school fees akagenda romutabane wange ali mufuni ya city yapangisa yosente emitwaro 20 yarampangisa itaka iyo kuri masizoni yenu omutabane wange bwasindikayo nyina agende amulimire gabo kozo mwana ali isomero mukazi wamukuvayo mugamba no itaka lyokupangisa nyina likumara bono musajja bayitu warago iraro itaka lite tinjaina na hakulimira kamere bana bange tubandi potingire ngatata wo mwana nyarora jukire mukansara obwatemero omuntu ngomba kisindiza omwana okazirya nitaka toinaryo hati kastokuswara nokuswara sasa sindiza omwana nti ati mukandisoro nyakuzigezi kamba nyake.
Judas Mukisa notes that Sebuliba was forced to refund the money last evening through his friend Everest Biaruhanga, but in the process chaos erupted when Mukisa started laughing at Sebuliba, accusing him of intending to obtain money by false pretense.
Has been by force yatundebye y'abantu bagamba ati akanovaire noka kuandura ati naharugirawo nyomutandeta rugezigezi nyomusajja manyira amateka nyonka korabwa district security officer bamugambe bitiri kuyamba point eri kasitosa fire sente ati anayiro utaro naenda kurwana ati abantu bona babaire ne bamugamba emuntu kusango gusingire sente kasitoisa sire baitu ati ezo nizo kukayaniza ati nagamba umunsi no nisigeze dakika ntoito kufuma sino nisigeze dakika ntoito nimbe ugura nkwato mwana gwange ni nyiruka ati nakwate kiso najya kutema hebicho ati kiso ni chikwata empati ya bucha ya poke ya kusindiza kiso ni chigaruka nchiraba nchikwata no musaije itamba nikimutema bagiye ko umusayi chiri giya mirwara abi eza as refunding reka na yazigarurira yabaire bloka yazireta.
When contacted for a comment, Sebuliba dismisses the allegations that he intended to injure Augusto Kibuka, insisting that he acted in self-defense when he was attacked by Judas with a panga that accidentally injured Kibuka, but confesses to have refunded the 200,000 shillings.
na mkurusanyo eni hati ya kuwatemba isi ya kujitema ajihirege mukabucha kandi nyewe mukisa abandi turadamumanya tangondeza muno kandi goza ari mwene waitu ati ekinchuyemu na hewa nawo kumuyahemba izi omubwirobu nakwata ni mukanga na nyowe ati yabiruka yasiganka n'bwiremba izi tokabumba ni ngenda kuhemba izi ekiso cyapomera ekiti atabe hari hayiyogo yatekereza runde mbainda mukuru kibuga kimwe no babikize bunakimba ensonga kale bwa izirege nandangira aho ekya imahango nkagenda na yamba mu mukazi we wapangise itako wange ati reni niwe yazoka atayendera kwapangisa wange niwe yakwefuna sente ati nibize natamba sente orozerengerenzi kunagisize namugambo gayifiwe byango likaraga no kutahirira kushadiri ati ari mukiye kuretse mbayizeyo nyango akuwizidrowing sente nkayibagarurira uko abatende kupangiso wange.
Augusto Chibuka stresses that it was intentional and that he has reported the case to the village court for intervention.
Ngamemba izi baini baje kuisanga na ndiri wano habuza bagicyuyize akinye niko kumbuza nkiwemba ijyo kujabuka nkoha ati omuzaijyaho nengiri abayire no busungu timanyo baba yanyiri bitokoza bungu oba biki amazigarete kiso murundi kumona agamba omunsi kanyine mu bwire butoyito niko kwanike kiso na kitema ati nengiri mbayinsange mukimanyire bayikaine bahambya ngana kumutangana sinaikara mwerinzire ati omukuteme kise cyo atemere eporo mu eyo mubucha ati kiso cyacu kamukabiri ati kitunge kitwekere mu cy'intenere rero cyo kare kikorwa kiri kigenderere ari wo kwenda kuntema ariho ibiki yabo kuba ekiso kintemerera mutu omusango ndipotingire wa chairman ati kikuzoka bwando zire nengeri biro binuna embera za muitire mukubi arugire mu badistansara ne byasibyona bire mutawanyi ati bwando zo message kiramo kibana nyigi cya mugarurira ukukora kizokera kuzi.
That is very unfortunate. Now, away from that, Kibale Chief Magistrate Her Worship Nazifana Mayanja has remanded an 18-year-old youth to Kibale Government Prison on charges of attempted murder. Henry Komushaba, a resident of Murushwa, Sel, Ramata Parish, Mpasana Sub-County in Kakumiro District, is accused of attempting to murder Herbert Atwebembire of the same area. Court heard that Komushaba committed the offense on 29th of last month while at Rwenyanji village in Kakumiro district. In the dock, the accused pleaded not guilty to the charges, which prompted the magistrate to consequently remand him to Kibale Government Prison until 24th of this month, when his case will come up for further hearing. Meanwhile, the Kibale Grade 1 Magistrate Derek Kamanzi has remanded to Kibale Government Prisons a 23-year-old man on charges of theft. Gerard Mkonyezi, a resident of Kidasa village, Kievando sub-county in Kibale district, who is accused of theft contrary to section 237 of the Penal Code Act, Cap 128. Prosecution yesterday told court that on the 9th of May 2024, while at Kidasa village, Kievando sub-county, Mkonyezi stole 30 kilograms of dry coffee valued at 300,000 shillings from Edward Semanda Salongo. In the dock, the suspect pleaded not guilty and he was consequently remanded to Kibale Government Prison until 29th of this month, when his case will come up for hearing. Now over to Kiegegwa District. The Kiegegwa District Assistant Resident District Commissioner John Biaruhanga has suspended the commissioning of Abagahi Maize Factory project located in Bugogo Town Council, citing uncompleted works. The over 223 million project was funded by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries through the Agriculture Cluster Development Program, injecting 150 millions, while the 33% totaling to over 73 million shillings was confunded by farmers during the financial year 2021-2022. At the commissioning of the project yesterday, the Assistant RDC, John Biaruhanga, turned furious after their uncompleted works, such as lack of fence, doubting the security of the facility, and completed veranda, among other issues.
sigikira ekyombeko kinini kicyaburwamu ebaraza tekozire cyo kumesa kisobora kugwa hanu nati hafensingire timuine gate cyo kumesa security teriyamani na waya mesh tingiro zire yo kurule ebintu ebi nimuihamu amabale kurungi tingiro zire waya meshero it's okay habwebyo ninyetaga kubagamba nti commission ikiro kinu tinkuja kuba kwa sekizimbe kiro kinu tichikahoire munyikirize mburungi ekizimbe kimuteke hamani mukole mobilization mukimarire ekizimbe kiro kinu obusobozo bonyine RDC Chegegwa district tinkuja kibakwasa habo.
Speaking to some of the group members led by the group chairperson Patrick Sebigenyi, they committed themselves to ensure the completion of the uncompleted works amid decries of having encumbered a lot of expenses.
Kizimbe batugambe bikubura mbatugambira ukore baraza icyo nikirabuka no kushemeza hafesi naho narabuka kugaye kandi tugumena sinjenge yo kusaba hano ebi yatugambira ebi amasini yebintu tuzakora kakukora abo ko bataru ikindi cy'kutubasa kuturemesa twaba twatanise kwatanise
ecyomeki echaresire ebintu ebi bitara kubaho government ekatwereza wari abetwire sente konka expenses zabino zitenga kwiza cyomezi bikabi nibitwara sente nyingi muno.
Later, the district officials also proceeded to Kasule Coffee Producers Group in Kasule Sub-County Kigego District, where a coffee processing machine was also funded by the Ministry of Agriculture through the Agriculture Cluster Development Program, was commissioned that cost over 223 million shillings. Speaking to over 200 beneficiary group members led by their chairperson Augustine Byakagaba, John Kisoke Byamukama, the district local council chairperson Kigegwa, discourages the farmers from planting tobacco, mobilizing them to plant more coffee if they are to sustain the coffee processing machine.
Itakalia eyo email lichwemo bichweke president ngwa kutugamba 4 acre model no buziraba yizitakweka chwamwe bichweke ekichweke kimu oba hafika oba hika byaraki omwani tulime ikintu ekyosobora kwahura akatale ukarakataro nyencha akatale kakabaho kokatuna kandi omwani nikye mu ekimu ekiri mu katale kensi yona nimba saba abantu bakigego turuga hakuri metaba tayine kututwara limu bulayi harohe tusemerire nkaba na Uganda nkabanyakigegwa kweganyira kuri mu bwire buno tulime ikintu ekiri kureta sente mu bwangu.
In his remarks, Augustine Byakagaba, the group chairperson of Kasule Coffee Producers Group, reported that since the operation of the machine started on 16th of May this year, they have managed to process 45,544 kilograms of fair average quality of coffee, that is Kasi.
I thank the Minister of Agriculture for having chosen us from the many groups in the district and acquired us this grant. We got an SCDP grant for both a halal shelter and a coffee halal machine. Since operations began from 16th May to June 30th, we have managed to process 45,544 kilograms of FAQ. This answers the President's call for value addition.
You are still listening to KDR News Broadcast. This is the news on the international scene.
For the news on the international scene, Kenya. In an unexpected and dramatic decision, Kenyan President William Ruto has dismissed all members of his cabinet, retaining only Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi. During a press conference held at the State House in Nairobi today, Ruto said the recent events that necessitated the withdrawal of the financing bill, which require a review and reorganization of the cabinet and fiscal management, has brought the government to an inflection point. Ruto adds that in due course he will announce additional measures.
listening keenly to what the people of Kenya have said, and after a holistic appraisal of the performance of my cabinet and its achievements and challenges, I have today, in line with the powers given to me by Article 1521 and 1525B of the Constitution and Section 12 of the Office of the Attorney General's Act, decided to dismiss with immediate effect all the Cabinet Secretaries and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, of the Cabinet of Kenya, except the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. And of course, the office of the Deputy President is not affected in any way.
This decision follows widespread protests triggered by the finance bill, which has been widely rejected by Kenyans for rising prices and escalating the cost of living, particularly impacting the country's lower income population. In response to the protests over the last past, the government cancelled planned tax increases that included in the 2024 finance bill. The early tonight is 16 minutes past 8 p.m. As I wind up the newscast, a quick look at the top stories once more. Former Kibale District Secretary for Security and Community-Based Services on spot for injuring a resident. Courts in Kibale remands a 18-year-old man on charges of attempted murder. Kegegu Assistant RDC suspends the commissioning of Abagahi Maize Factory project, and Kenya's William Ruto dismisses cabinet. That's it. My name is Deo Asiimwe. I wish you the best of your night. It is a Thursday, and please don't forget to follow us on our social media handles at KDR FM. My name is Deo Asiimwe. Good night.